welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now, before we get into this video, first of all, remember to like this video, drop me a comment as to what you'd like to see from me in the future, what sort of content you'd like to see, and most importantly, please subscribe so I can continue to put out videos, as I do really enjoy it. So do it, help the girl out. Today is a Friday. I have actually started the day off with our Empower Challenge check-ins. We've got people with a lot of different goals on the challenge right now, which is so incredible to see. So yes, we've got a good amount of people who are looking for fat loss, looking to improve their body composition, lose a little bit of weight. But we've got some ladies who are actually looking to build muscle, get stronger, and build that lovely, lovely shape that they want. Now, I did say ladies, however, I would like to remind everyone that Empower is not just for women, it's for both men and women. It's just how it landed. We've got some girls who are looking to build a little bit more muscle at the moment. Now, today, I am going to be going through full day of eating. I'm currently on the deload. I'm currently resting because I was a little bit battered and I need a little bit of time to allow for my body to just get back in a really great spot, get myself feeling really, really good again, and a few days of rest are very much needed. But considering all of that, I thought I would actually show you as to what I tend to eat in my day, rest day foods, but focusing on growth, because that's still the goal. The goal is currently to continue to build my glutes, and this meal plan supports just that. So I'll show you what I eat in my day, show you some snippets of my day. So yeah, tag along. So one thing we do at MK Coaching, something that we do is we will never let a client wait on the check-in. We always ask for people to check in nice and early. And what do? We get a response to them nice and early. So literally, we talk in 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, you've got your response with you. So this is exactly what I've done for all of my Empower clients this morning. And I have actually started the day off after hydrating myself. I'll have you know, I have got them myself a coffee, and I've got my Devil Wears Prada mug. I saw the musical in London and it was incredible, and this is my mug, having a little coffee. I'm going to have my breakfast now as well. I'm going to have my meal one, so I'll show you what that looks like and we'll get cracking with all day of eating. If you see the mess behind in that corner, no you didn't. I've got my baking bits out from when I was making a birthday cake for my friend, my best friend, last weekend. So happy belated birthday to her. But yes, I need to organise the sort of cupboard with all my baking bits because it ended up looking an absolute mess. So I've kind of left it all out so I can organise it. But I've not gone around to it just yet. So that's going to be one of the jobs for today, I reckon. Eggs. I've got veggies that go into this meal, I've got bread, I've got fruit, a nice, lovely variety, eating the rainbow. So yeah, I'm going to get that done. Like two different species, still the same, but like Jack and Hyde, like cat and So I know this is not the most aesthetic of meals considering that I'm running out of ketchup. This is egg whites, an egg, tomatoes, mushrooms, and spinach. I've got bread. I've got sourdough bread, some sauerkraut, and I've got some fresh berries in here as well. So that's my meal one. I've got salt and pepper on here, as well as ketchup. With my salt, I put it in a little pot that I measure out my salt for the day and essentially just put it over all of my meals throughout the day. That way I don't have to worry about how much salt I need to do. I've got it all under control because I know how much water I'm drinking, how much salt I'm having. My electrolyte balance should be all in a great spot. So I'm going to eat this and I'll show you my next meal later on. It's not actually time for my next meal just yet, but I'm having rice with my next meal, so I'm going to put that on. I've got a rice cooker. Makes such a big difference to the quality of rice that you have. It's just so much nicer. So what I do, I actually cook my rice for the day in the rice cooker. I'm going to be cooking some for Gaz too. The easiest way to do it, because trust me, it's not hard to follow a dry weight of anything. Weigh it out before, cook it, weigh it after. You'll know the difference. You'll know what your portion is. It's as simple as that. I'm going to show you how I do it, but I'm going to weigh out my rice and chuck it on now. So here we go. Here's my rice. What I do to know how much water to put in, I use this little measuring cup that has come with my rice cooker, and essentially I weigh it in this, and then I know roughly how many cups that is, and then I follow the sort of lines for where to add the water in. But if you don't have that, a good rule of thumb, quite literally, is to use your thumb, use your fingernail, and you want the water to be roughly a fingernail over the rice. Now I'm going to chuck that on. Here's my rice cooker. Let's get that on. Don't mind all the baking bits. So we've got it as simple as that, and that's going to cook. And once it's done, it's just going to keep it warm for me. My rice has finished cooking and it's time for meal 2. So I'm just going to show you how I manage that. I have actually cooked rice for 2 of my meals today, plus rice for gas. And I've just gone off the raw or dry weight for rice. And I'll show you what I do to know how much to eat of cooked weight rice. Super simple. I have cooked 175 grams of dry weight rice. I'm going to weigh the rice that I have cooked and get the total weight of that. So with rice, it actually gets heavier because it absorbs water as you cook it, not leaving any rice behind. Bang on 480 grams. All you need to do then is just do some quick maths. So we've got 480 grams of cooked weight rice. I'm going to divide it by the initial amount of rice that I had. So I had 175 grams. That means for every gram of rice, I get 2.74 grams of cooked weight rice. So I'm going to do this. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to zero this, and I'm going to essentially divvy it up into different containers. But because my 75 grams of rice, because 100 grams is for gas, my 75 grams is for 2 meals with different amounts, I'm going to do it one by one. So I've got 2.75. What you can do is literally write this on the Tupperware with your whiteboard marker, because that's going to need to wash off when you cook your Tupperware, when you clean your Tupperware. So you can literally put that factor on, so you know if you have, let's say, 30 grams of dry weight rice, you need to just times it by 2.74, and then we'll give you your cooked weight. But what I'm going to do is I am going to do this for myself now. So I'm going to do it by 25 grams, so I know. So I've zeroed my scales, and I'm just going to remove what I need to put into my bowl to have now. Spot on. And then I'm going to use that same multiplier to now do my rice for later. And there we have it. I've got my rice cooked. If you have the same amount of rice every single time you have rice, you can literally just, when you get that factor, times it by your dry weight rice and write the amount that you need to have each time. But because I have different amounts, I just take note of the factor, or just divvy it up, because I only have it twice in a day. So I tend to cook it to have with the meal fresh, and then I have the rice for later on in the day. Principle for protein, potatoes, pasta, anything like that. The only thing that you need to just bear in mind is with proteins, they usually shrink when you cook them. They tend to release water, so they're going to be lighter than when you first weighed them. So the number will usually be less than your raw weight. And exactly the same, cooked weight divide by raw weight, it gives you the multiplying factor. With, for example, chicken and beef, I always have the same amount. So what I do is I then times it by, it's 100 grams I always have, and I just write it on the Tupperware or take a screenshot of on my phone of the sort of multiplying factor, and I know exactly how much to have.
Biggest ride of the century.
There you have it, my meal 2. So I've got rice, veggies, chicken, avocado, salt, pepper in here, plus obviously that little teriyaki thing that I've made with a little bit of the reduced salt soy sauce and pineapple, which is meal 2. I'm going to go in that, do some more work, and it'll be time for meal 3. The time has come for me to have my meal 3, which is going to be cream of rice. So let me position you all. Bit wonky. Hold on. There we go. I'm going to have cream of rice, which this is currently my favourite flavour. This is the custard cream one from Trim by JP, and oh my god, it is absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to have this with some dark chocolate and almond butter, some blueberries and whey isolate. I actually don't have much whey isolate at all in my day-to-day. First of all, I have to have an isolate because I can't have normal whey as it upsets my digestion. It's got lactose in it and I don't do lactose, unfortunately. My stomach decided for me that I cannot eat any sort of dairy, really. I prefer just natural sources of protein. So that's exactly what we do. So that's why I tend to have eggs, chicken, beef, have some Greek yogurt. Another great one, I don't have it on my plan, but it's things like salmon, whitefish, tuna. There's so many different amazing protein sources that you can have. Isn't that right, Peach? There's so many different natural protein sources that you can have in your day-to-day so that you shouldn't have to rely on an isolate or protein of any sort like this. So when you see something like, you know, eating a high protein diet, don't think that that has to be necking protein shakes in your day-to-day, because that is not the case. I eat high protein diet and I have isolate once per day, but that is just because I have meals that are sweet. So like, for example, cream of rice, I could do without it, but I just enjoy it with that meal. So that's why I have. I've had to go get a hoodie on because I'm absolutely freezing. I absolutely love dark chocolate, and 100% dark chocolate is so underrated. Hoto Chocolat, they sell these chocolate nibs. Essentially, it's the hot drinking chocolate for the velvetizer, I think, that they have. It's just pure chocolate. And I use that. I actually buy that and I just sprinkle that over my food, which is lovely. So I'm going to have 10 grams of that. And I'm going to finish it off with berries, nut butter, and I've actually got my isolate here. So rather than having a shake, I add a tiny little bit of water in, and make it into a paste that I actually put like a sauce over my food. So I'm just going to get that finished. There we go. This is my meal 3, which is cream of rice, dark chocolate that's underneath there. You can kind of see a little bit of it there. I've got my whey as a paste, blueberries, and some nut butter, plus a sprinkle of sweet cinnamon, and a baby spoon because I'm a child and I need a baby spoon to help me eat slower. I've just made my meal 4 and I forgot to show you. So I'll show you now after it's been cooked. Here we have rice, the rice I cooked earlier, with chicken, veggies. I've got pepper, mushroom and courgette in here, plus avocado. I literally chucked it all together in a pan, added a little bit of garlic, a little bit of water so the rice wouldn't go super dry, but it's still a little bit crispy. And yeah, there we go. That's my meal 4. I have just finished an Empower Challenge live that me and Meg hosted on Instagram. So if you've watched that, I hope you've enjoyed it. We're just answering some questions about the Empower Challenge, how that runs, answered any sort of questions in that chat whilst we were going through everything as well. But yeah, just a reminder, if you'd like to get started on the Empower Challenge, so 12 weeks to implement some absolutely incredible habits that are going to keep you feeling healthy. If you want to lose weight, we're going to support you with that. If you want to get shredded, we'll support you with that. If you want to start building muscle, we'll support you with that. If you're just looking for a little bit of structure, whatever it might be, we will support you for the 12 weeks. There's plenty of educational videos educational documents that we've got for you that we share with you throughout the 12 weeks as well. So there's a lot of value in there for you to be able to go through the 12 weeks, but also then be able to walk away from the 12 weeks understanding as to how you can continue to implement these great habits into your life. So if you are interested, drop me a comment under this video or follow the links in the description box below as to how you can get a little bit more information about that and how you can get started. Now, it's time for me to prepare my meal 5. It's a little bit later, but needs a must. I needed to do other things. So I'm actually going to be having beef and potatoes for this meal. So I'm going to put my potatoes on, and whilst they are boiling, I am going to do a little bit of more work. I'm just waiting on my potatoes to finish. But I thought I'd show you this. I got this parcel earlier. I bought some things from Young LA. I've never bought anything from them, but what do we think? What do we think? I got some leggings and a jumper and a sports bra as well, I think. But kind of love it. What do you think? I thought that was pretty nice. It's got some like camo on it, on the lettering. I'm not sure if you can tell, but so far so good. Not bad, Young LA, not bad. So here's my potatoes with my avocado. I'm going to add a little bit of my salt that I'm going to have with this. And essentially, in order to make great mash, just mash it together. There we go. Nice and creamy green mash with avocado. My beef and veggies are currently heating up. I'm going to add some pasta sauce to this too. And here we go. This is my last meal. So I've got that mash, which is potatoes and avocado. I've got 3% mince on top with some mushrooms, courgettes, peppers, and some tomato sauce. I've got some kimchi there too. Salt, pepper, and pineapple. We've just come back from a walk with Miss Peach, didn't we, Gaz?
Yes.
Yes, and it's time for our last meal and Harry Potter. And we are on number 5 right now. That was actually my favourite book. Film, it's good, but book, that was definitely my favourite book. But it is time for my oats. I'm going to put the remaining salt in there. I'm going to get that done and make my sort of yogurt trifle, as I like to call it. And there we have it, my last meal, which is oats with berries, 0% yogurt, nut butter, and some cinnamon on top as well. I call it my oat yogurt trifle because I literally just kind of layer things on, which is how I like to eat it. Now I'm going to enjoy my last meal whilst watching Harry Potter. So I'm going to sign off for the day with my baby spoon. Now, if you have enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, give it a like, and please, 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 please subscribe to my channel so that I can continue to share my journey with you all and hopefully help provide some valuable information and things that you can learn from as well. But yes, I am going to have my last meal, watch Harry Potter, and switch off for the night. So for now, until next time.